It is absolutely insane how quickly this movie goes from happily ever after to dragons and darkness and maybe not appropriate for the little one.
Hey, what's up? It's your boy, your son.
There we go, I like that. Okay, today I wanted to take a little deep dive into the old VHS cabinet, if you will. Back when I was a kid, my parents had a VHS cabinet that they kept all of our various VHSs, obviously. And there were always a few of them that really stuck out to me as a kid that I felt like so many other people had to have watched, or I was just so certain it was in the same groove as all of the other movies that we had in the VHS cabinet. I mean, it's right next to Cool Runnings. Of course you've seen Princess and the Goblin, right? No. But that's okay. Everybody has a different story. Everybody has a different VHS cabinet. And today I wanted to take a little bit of a dive into one of my personal favorites, which is the 1989 Happily Ever After, the continuation of Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. Let's check it out.
The continuing story of the Prince and Snow White.
I told you. What did I say? What did I say? It goes from Happily Ever After to dragons in 2 seconds. That's crazy. This is Snow White, right?
Snow White. Snow White! Show me where the head is.
This movie, even when I was a kid, always hit a little weird. Felt a little unsettling. Like, it's a little bit more edgy than what I'm used to. It was funny. It was kind of goofy. It was cutesy. But then there's some times where it's like,
Snow White. Snow White, wake up.
My prince? Is it really you?
Who else would it be? I will twist and change and distort everything in the realm of doom.
little bit.
As my sister perished,
No!
so shall you.
Little dark.
How did this happen?
We start off the story with the most beautiful Dom DeLuise. Oh, Dom, please be my daddy. I'll be your son.
Now you're cooking. I'm through with malice. You're better looking.
Anyways, we start off with the DeLuise Looking Glass himself, letting us know what happened in the previous movie. But if you remember in the first movie, Snow White pulled a Hannah Montana and took that witch out.
I came in like a
So in classic Snow White fashion, our story begins with a dragon. We follow the shadow of that dragon all the way up to a castle. What castle, you say? Why, it's the castle of the evil queen from the previous Oh no.
To all, the queen is dead. I scared myself.
Cut to the inside of this castle and we are greeted with one of my favorite crusty, dusty, and musty bad birds. Scowl.
Scowl!
He bad. Oh, he bad.
I'm bad, see? You gotta be bad like me. Rude dude. You got that?
Scowl and Batty are basically kind of like the comedy duo or like the comic relief in the background. They're pretty silly. They're usually some of my favorite parts. And this evil duo have taken residence in the late Queen's castle. Which, to be honest, I think is kind of an interesting concept. Like, alright, bad guy's gone. What happens to their place? What happens to the people that used to work there? Do new people move in? Does it just get abandoned? To say that there's a celebration over our late evil queen is a bit of an understatement. Amongst all of the festivities, who is to break in but Lord Malice himself? And as one might imagine, her brother, Lord Malice, was not very happy about that. Oh, Who's Lord Malice, you say? Oh, just the nightmare fuel that we experienced moments ago. Here's a refresher. Alright, now that we got that taken care of, Lord Malice is back into the picture to come and see how his little sister is doing.
Where is she? She went out for a walk, right, Patso?
Scowl.
She did go out for a walk.
However, with that news, he is very upset and leaves the castle in an absolute mythical, nightmarish flurry, ready for the hunt for the one who murdered his sister, Snow White. And her cute little prince, too.
And who's the pretty boy she's with? That'd be the prince, your lordship.
Hold up. Not tripping. Is it me, or does the prince get a little bit of a He-Man / Link from Zelda kind of vibe? You know, he's got like the red tunic and that golden hair and probably my number soon. Ultimate heartthrob of my life. Let's get back on track. You guys gotta remind me. You gotta remind me. Keep me on track. So we're in a field now, right? Snow White and her prince are just hanging out being like, oh, look at the flowers. When suddenly a dragon appears. What dragon, you say? Lord Malice. And Scowl. And the bat one. I don't like the bat one. That one's kind of cute. I mean, I don't not like him. It's just he's the voice of reason. And those candies are the worst. Anyways, an epic chase now ensues as our prince is in hot pursuit of the now abducted Snow White. Proper slapstick fashion, our bad bird henchman is determined to assist Lord Malice.
Watch this. I'll get her from behind.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
By getting in the way, or unintentionally being good at being bad. The prince finally catches up to them and is able to land a shot via a weird stutter frame sort of crossbow shot.
This is the end. Hold your breath and count to 10. Feel the earth move and then face it all together.
However, by doing so, Snow White is able to escape the dragon's clutches.
Run, Snow White, run!
Instead of, returning to his original form and pursuing the princess into the forest, he instead sets his sights on the prince, because, in his own words,
I have a very special fate in store for you. Very special indeed.
Sorry, just had to make some tea real quick. Okay. Oh, that's bitter. For real, seriously though. This guy is a little bit too obsessed with the prince. And this is coming from a guy who just gave a cartoon my phone number. This guy, however, takes it to a whole new level.
And who's the pretty boy she's with? Handsome prince. Precious prince.
Dude, chill. That's
My prince.
Prince again!
exhausted from the chase with the prince. Snow White stumbles upon, you guessed it,
Oh,
why it's the cottage of the seven dwarfs. What fortune! What luck! Traumatized by the shattering of her happily ever after, Snow White uses the last bit of her energy to collapse at the door.
so tired. I can't go on.
Cut to the next morning.
Wake up!
As she wakes up, rather than being greeted by her friends from the past, she finds nothing more than an empty house and an unsettling feeling that something
Oh,
is amiss.
oh. Oh my.
We are informed that not only do the dwarves no longer live there, but during the years while Snow White was enjoying her happily ever after with the prince, the dwarves in fact have now opened a mine in a completely different kingdom far, far away.
You think it's silly to ride all this way just to invite them to the wedding?
Probably not.
But the 7 dwarfs live in that cottage.
Not anymore.
Who said that?
They're their cousins, the 7 dwarf elves. They gave us their cottage.
Along with Snow White, we are then introduced to the dwarf elves, and we are also informed of their unique abilities that were given to them. What better way to introduce them and their powers than through an 80s classic style songtage?
What makes you, you? And who am I?
I'm not gonna lie, it kind of slaps.
Like moons are meant to do, and the ocean stays deep. And the earth always turns. Ooh, ooh.
Alright, let's get back to the dwarf elves and their abilities, okay?
Excuse me, I don't believe I got your names.
You have Sunburn, who controls the sunlight, merely. Muddy is an earthbender. Blossom is in charge of all the plants and flowers.
A pleasure, darling.
Mariana is a waterbender.
Hello there, I'm in charge of the lakes and rivers.
Critterina takes care of all of the animals in the forest.
I'm Critterina.
While Moonbeam is in charge of the night. She's not herself during the day. And who's the one that sang that beautiful song?
Who am I?
That's Thunderella. She controls the weather. But not very well, as we find out that
Mother Nature's called her up for review. That's never happened before.
after the dwarf elves are all caught up on how our princess is currently being pursued by the Dragonborn.
You didn't think that you were the only one. He was the first. Dragonborn.
How dare you!
I mean, Lord Malice. And much to the shock of the dwarf elves, Snow White expresses her unwavering determination to save the handsome prince. Muddy then suggests that they seek out help from the one who had originally bestowed their powers upon them. Mother Nature. However, this means bad news for Thunderella, as she's currently up for evaluation with Mother Nature on whether or not she's responsibly capable of controlling the powers that have been given to her. While on their way to the garden of Mother Nature, Thunderella stops to mope about how she can't do anything right, setting up the will she won't she character arc for her story development later on by comparing herself to others in the group. Snow White reassures her with a,
You're special too. You are. Everyone is in their own way. Just keep doing your best and being yourself.
Come on, we're almost there.
Can we go back to reassuring Thunderella? Pan to a sweeping shot of a beautiful garden of oddities where we are introduced to the one and only Phyllis Diller. I mean, Mother Nature. But don't interrupt her, because
Mother Nature has so many things to do.
That's Mother Nature?
Who said that? Identify yourself.
One of the hired help. Just like you.
I forgot to mention this, but these powers were given to the dwarf elves in order to take off some of the stress of Mother Nature. Because as we know,
Mother Nature has so many
things to do. We get it. One of those things is passing judgment on Thunderella if she is capably responsible of keeping her powers. After you're done mixing together Phyllis Diller only knows what to create sentient beings that you deemed as failed experiments and then decide whether or not they live or die. You can literally just wave your magic hand and then correct the mistake that you made, not only willingly, but gleefully, as you sing a merry little tune.
Mix it at the right time, then do it again.
But let's get back to Thunderella's evaluation.
Will the negligent party step forward?
Is that me?
Undo precipitation when arid conditions were appropriate. Injudicious use of anemometry. Inadequate comprehension of climatology. Does that cover it?
Not only that, but she can't even control the weather. Am I right? Am I right? Am I right?
That's precisely what I said.
Jeez. Take it out on Thunderella, will ya? I'm not the one that's on trial here, right? Right? I'm seriously not the one on trial here.
I never should have let the lot of you have such powers.
See, I told you she'd take away Thunderella's powers.
The lot of us? Yeah. Mother Nature then berates them about their misuse and misconduct of their powers.
Oh, don't think I haven't noticed all your squabbling, using earthquakes and sunbeams at your every whim.
And how these kind of mistakes cannot and will not be tolerated in
this line of work.
Bish? What? Excuse me?
What about all the mistakes you make?
Let's go, girls. Going out tonight.
I beg your pardon.
Begging your pardon, but even you make mistakes.
Oh, that's totally crazy.
I'm sorry, young lady. My decision is final. The dwarf fells shall be stripped of their powers.
Ruthless, cruel, rotten to the core.
Ruthless. Ruthless. Oh, how I wish that someone would just swoop in and take me away from this place. No, not you.
Mother Nature, do something!
She can't even make a proper dormouse. How's she gonna...
Damn, Dilla, how'd you get all of that? Them jeans, how'd you get all of that? Bamboozled yet again, Lord Mouse returns back to the realm of doom. But not before letting Snow White know that within his castle walls she will find the precious prince.
Don't you want to know what happened to your precious prince?
Undeterred and with their hearts still set on saving the prince.
Please, yes.
I thought so! The answer lies in my castle in the realm of doom. And not even Mother Nature can stop me there.
No, I must go to the realm of doom.
Snow White asks the Dwarf Elves to aid her in her quest, much to the behest of Mother Nature's protest.
You want them? Very well. You miscreants have one last chance to prove yourselves competent beneficiaries of the powers with which I've endowed you.
Before we head out, Mother Nature then paints the severity of the task at hand, while encouraging Snow White to keep her wits about her. Because...
in his own domain, even I cannot stop him.
Do you think it's silly to ride all this way?
Nah. Nah. We are then fast-tracked through the first half of our journey, past the 7 pines, and over the 7 peaks, to a cave that leads to the realm of doom. I'm sure that this was a great way to save money on animation, however. Mother Nature assures us that this is due to the fact that
The closer you get to your destination, the more dangerous your journey will become. Now go.
So we're at a cave now. And well, hi ho and behold. It's a crystal cave. Not to be confused with the crystal mine. Blossom points out that the cave appears to be maybe too dark to safely navigate. And Snow White lays down a super duper helpful suggestion on us.
We need light.
Wow. Insightful. Wow. Very, very insightful. Yes. Good idea. Yes. Okay, who actually wants to help here, all right?
They don't call me Sunburn for nothing.
All right, Sunburn, we need just enough light to be able to see in there. No showing off, okay? I'm kidding, it's a joke. Due to what I can only imagine is refractory magic, the caves are now perpetually lit. See, there it is again. Who is that? Identify yourself.
Never should have come here.
The Dwarfels are pretty metal. I mean, like, whenever they're in the face of danger, they're always running headfirst into battle like...
Get that Shadow Man!
Whereas if I was in a cave and someone yelled, "Look at that Shadow Man," I would be like... As our heroes then attempted to try and catch this mysterious Shadow Man, Sunburn accidentally runs into a stalagmite, causing a collapse to begin within the cave. I mean, no shade. I would have probably done the same thing, but like, I'd have been running in the opposite direction. Lucky for the Dwarfels, Snow White spots a safe place for cover.
Quick! Over here!
Whereas very unlucky for the Shadow Man. My dude! Where are those acrobatics from earlier? I mean, 1 minute you're all like, Cirque du Soleil Shadow Man. And now you're all like, oh, just a brisk hobble as I try to escape certain death. Despite the falling rubble and against all reason, Snow White attempts to save the Shadow Man.
He's hurt.
No, don't!
I bet he works for Lord Malice.
However, before he is able to answer, the crumbling cave releases a violent explosion of what I can only assume is... I don't know. You tell me.
Ooh, it's about time something good happened on this trip.
Well, of course you must be happier than a pig rolling in Nope. No. I am sorry, but no. Nuh-uh. No. I'm sorry. No, ma'am. No one is coming out of there clapping and hollering after that insane twist of events, knowing full well that every single one of them came out of that situation looking like the peanut butter baby. Our princess then laments about how she wishes that she could have only done something more to save the Shadow Man.
Ooh, he gave me the willy.
And that she truly hopes he made it out of there okay.
I hope he got free. I hope he got free. I hope he got free.
Probably not. Also, can we change Shadow Man's name? Okay. There are already too many names in here, and some of them are kind of long. And I don't know, Shadow Man just starts sounding repetitive the more I say it. How about Kevin. Yeah, let's do Kevin. Yeah. Kevin's a good name. I like that name. That's a good name. This is Kevin now. Now with Kevin in the cave behind them, Thunderella notices something in the distance.
We made it to the realm of doom.
Maybe this very minute, the prince is watching us from one of those castle windows.
Whew. That was wild. Whew. That was wild. I forget how crazy this movie is. And we're only halfway through it. Thank you so much if you stuck around to the end of this part 1 of 2 videos I've been doing covering the continuation of Snow White. Honestly, I know it's been kind of rough and been kind of silly, but I really appreciate it.
You are all so brave.
Believe it or not, I put way too much time into this video, but I thought it was fun and I really appreciate you hanging out with me until the end of it. This has been one of the first movie reviews I've ever done, so I spent a good chunk of it failing and learning along the way. However, despite all the road bumps... Okay. Let's see how this audio matches up. Okay, that should be good. Let's export that. Let's see how it turns out.
One eternity later.
Okay, now that we have that loaded, let's check and see if it matches up. Hopefully it's on 653.30. Please just be on 653.30. Okay, let's try it. Now ensues, as our prince is in hot pursuit of the now abducted Snow White. Headaches, trying to figure out how to make a script, basically tormenting Microsoft's text-to-speech with my mumble voice. Open quote. An epic chase ensues as our prince is in hot pursuit of the now abducted Snow White. Close quote. With my horrendous mumble mouth.
Oh, good grief.
Yes, ma'am?
Making the editing probably a lot harder than it needed to be. Just because I wanted to have like a certain joke land right.
Oh, that's totally crazy.
But it was all worth it if it made you smile or laugh, even once. If you enjoyed what you saw here today, please be sure to hit that like button. If you'd like to see more, please consider subscribing to my channel. I'll be your son. Thank you guys again for stopping by. It was so good to see you, and it was so fun hanging out with you today. And you'll see your boy in the next video. Hey, what's up? It's your boy, your son. Be sure that you guys like and subscribe, or else Lord Mouse will come and get us. The fuck was that?
Is that so? You are insolent! From this day forward, I shall rule this castle and all that is in it. I will control the laws of nature and bend them to my will. You and every wretched creature like you will do my bidding. I shall have one purpose and one purpose only. Vengeance! Snow White and her handsome prince shall pay for what has happened to my sister. Where are you?
Fancy running into you down here.
The pleasure is all mine. Now, there will be something to amuse me while I await Snow White.
You're not my prince.
You'll never see your prince again!
I just wanted to say a little thank you for stopping by to listen to my song. It's nothing fancy, but I hope you sing along. You know what